my feels uncomfortable. Just pretend.
Did that feel good?
Yeah, it does.
Like the cities that you play in, since there's
I just finished up my review with New Balance, and now I'm about to go eat lunch with my family.
Leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and starting her own management company was Coco Gauff's most significant career decision, and Aryna Sabalenka is really going crazy. The Belarusian star couldn't hide her annoyance when asked about Coco's business plan, and her response was dripping with what can only be described as unadulterated jealousy. Have you ever witnessed someone achieve success and witnessed someone else become obviously resentful? Tell me in the comments.
Coco Gauff is taking her career in a new direction, leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and joining up with entertainment moguls WME. And she has launched Coco Gauff Enterprises.
At the age of 21, Coco Gauff just started her own management company, Coco Gauff Enterprises. To fully take charge of her own brand and career, she departed Team 8, Roger Federer's Team 8, one of the most prominent management organizations in tennis. Additionally, the announcement was clear, concise, and impactful. As she develops as an athlete, businesswoman, and change agent, she expresses a desire to assume greater responsibility for her profession. She essentially declared, "I'm the boss now." She abandoned the conventional framework that the majority of athletes adhere to throughout their careers. This is a huge step. This level of power is not typically granted to athletes until they retire, if at all. They sign contracts with management firms. While others manage their brand, agents handle their deals and concentrate on their sport. However, Coco decided she was done with that model at the age of 21. She wants to be in charge of everything: her future, her transactions, and her reputation. That level of self-assurance and business acumen is uncommon at any age, let alone in your early 20s. Now, the majority of tennis players were either supportive or respectfully acknowledged that this was a daring move. She was congratulated by Iga Świątek. Messages from other players expressed how motivating it was to see her assume leadership. However, Aryna Sabalenka had a completely different reaction. During practice at the Cincinnati Open, Sabalenka reportedly shrugged, rolled her eyes, and remarked something like, "Good for her, I guess," when asked about Coco's new endeavor. These days, everyone aspires to be a CEO. The tone was contemptuous, the message was obvious, and the body language was defensive. This news did not sit well with Sabalenka, and it is easy to see why. Despite being one of the world's top players and a multiple Grand Slam champion, 26-year-old Sabalenka continues to operate under the conventional format, with contracts and management handled by others. Then Coco, who is 5 years younger, takes over and rewrites the rules in a way that makes everyone else appear outdated. This is made even more intriguing by their shared past. Do you recall the debate surrounding the French Open? After losing against Coco, Sabalenka made remarks that were perceived as disparaging of Coco's performance. She said Coco didn't play fantastically, that Sabalenka just made a lot of unforced errors on easy balls. That was her method of dealing with the defeat, but it appeared as though she was denying Coco credit for the victory. That remark didn't hold up over time. A few months later, Sabalenka is still attempting to persuade people that she didn't mean what she said, while Coco is creating a business empire and winning titles. There is no greater contrast. While Sabalenka appears to be trapped reacting to Coco's actions, Coco is making progress on all fronts. Sabalenka's reaction to the business announcement is especially telling because it exposes insecurity. She wouldn't need to be contemptuous of other people's decisions if she genuinely believed in her own path and success. She may simply offer Coco her congratulations or remain silent. Instead, she made the snarky remark that everyone aspires to be a CEO, which actually reveals more about her emotions than Coco's choice. People close to Sabalenka claim that she has been complaining in private about Coco getting too much attention for business activities instead of tennis, which is ironic because that is precisely what Coco is attempting to accomplish. Rethink what it means to be an athlete. Trophies aren't the only way Coco measures accomplishment. It's about having true control over your brand, managing your legacy, and creating something that endures after your playing career. Sabalenka is going insane because of this, because it is challenging to watch a younger rival become both a champion and a business tycoon when your own reputation has been established only on physical achievement and unadulterated emotion. Sabalenka has always been the passionate, feisty athlete who wears her emotions on her sleeve. That is her brand. But Coco is showing that there is an alternative path to success, one that incorporates strategic control, long-term planning, and business acumen. Everyone acts like Coco invented independence, Sabalenka allegedly told her team after practice. Everyone makes their own decisions, which is true in theory. But choosing a sponsor to work with and starting your own agency from the ground up are extremely different. Coco didn't just decide. She created a whole new framework for managing her career. That's not just a decision, that's innovation. Sabalenka doesn't seem to realize that this is much more than just tennis drama. This relates to the evolution of sports culture. Athletes today are more than just athletes. They're well-known companies, business owners, and influential cultural figures. That evolution includes Coco's move. However, Sabalenka appears to feel as though she's losing the prominence that she's worked so hard to establish. Aryna was the one creating headlines, winning Grand Slams, making audacious remarks, and displaying strong emotion on the court not so long ago. Fans were talking about her all the time. It's difficult to accept that Coco Gauff is the subject of every headline these days, especially when the analogies start coming in. At the age of 21, Coco has already established her own business, gained a worldwide fan base, and won a Grand Slam. Even though Sabalenka is older and more seasoned, she still feels that she's following rather than taking the initiative. When a reporter questioned Sabalenka about Coco's business endeavor, she responded, "I'm focused on my own career," with that tight, kind smile that athletes employ when they're trying not to blow up. "I'm not here to launch a company. I'm here to win competitions," which has a nice sound. In essence, it says, "Good luck running your company while I'm out here collecting trophies." Here's the problem, though. Though in separate ways, they are both succeeding. Coco is taking a long-term approach. She's aware that she won't be able to grip a racket forever. Instead of waiting till retirement, she's creating something today. That's clever. Sabalenka is in combat mode, totally focused on winning at tennis and desiring the recognition and attention she believes she has earned. She's earned it, too. However, the issue is that Coco's story is currently more captivating. Coco is personable, youthful, intelligent, and business savvy. Aryna is frustrated because she's everything sponsors want. According to WTA insiders, some players feel overshadowed by the Coco Gauff impact. She's all over the place: advertisements, interviews, business gatherings, and social causes. Meanwhile, other top players are stuck responding to the same old queries about rankings and training plans. So it makes sense when Sabalenka says she's sick of hearing Coco's name. Here's the irony, though. The more Sabalenka whines, the larger Coco's shadow grows. Every caustic remark becomes a new headline. Sabalenka plays a round of golf. Sabalenka finds Coco's notoriety annoying. Sabalenka responds to Coco's commercial action. In reality, she's feeding the narrative that she detests. Coco doesn't even have to respond. She simply posts something inspirational, smiles, and resumes building her empire. Coco is in charge of the story. Sabalenka just responds to it. And in today's sports, that's what sets icons apart from competitors. This is where things start to get hilarious. Coco Gauff has never brought up Aryna Sabalenka. Not in subtle shadow, not in postings, not in interviews, nothing. But Sabalenka is acting as though she's been personally attacked. It's like Coco's silence speaks louder than any words. It's clear that Aryna is more bothered by that than anything else. Coco doesn't have to say it. She simply shows it. She's succeeding without having to discuss it. And additionally, some fans believe that Sabalenka's displeasure stems from pressure rather than just jealousy. She's been trying to establish herself as one of the WTA's prominent figures, fiery, strong, and fervent. But the emphasis has now completely shifted. People are just talking about how she responds to Coco Gauff, not about her powerful serves. Imagine spending your entire professional life striving to be recognized for your abilities, only to have questions about someone else come up at every news conference. That wears you out. It's almost understandable why you're frustrated. Almost. Here's the problem, though. Sabalenka continues to worsen the situation. She appears more insecure with each caustic remark, eye roll, and dismissive gesture. Coco, meanwhile, is out there securing contracts and accumulating wins. She's not making more noise at work, she's working more smartly. You know who saw it? The sponsors. Because companies love athletes who are self-confident, calm, and in control. That's Coco. The opposite is Aryna. Erratic, passionate, and prone to saying regrettable things. That's bad for boardrooms, but great for headlines. You can only imagine what the other members of the tour thought when Gauff started her agency, a business that actually oversees brand partnerships. It's not merely a sign of success, it's a reminder of authority.
According to reports, players like Iga gave her secret congratulations, praising her for assuming leadership at such a young age. Who didn't? Sabalenka. Not a single encouraging statement in public, and that quiet told it all for tennis lovers, because there is a cold battle of perception and public relations going on behind the scenes, even though these participants may grin for the cameras. Every action is calculated, each post is computed. Not just the rankings, but every quote has the power to change who is at the top of the reputation game. Additionally, Coco Gauff has an impeccable reputation at the moment. At the age of 15, this player became the youngest qualifier at Wimbledon. She managed the pressure without letting it break her, and at the age of 21, she started her own business. Because Coco operates in tranquility and Aryna lives in disorder, that level of composure is uncommon and drives Sabalenka insane. Although Sabalenka's feelings motivate her, they also highlight her flaws. She blows up when something goes wrong. Coco is a calculator, and she uses the same mindset off the court. Now consider it. Coco is actually in meetings regarding her firm, while Sabalenka is attempting to prove herself to reporters. It's hardly even a contest. That's a whole other level of dominance. What worries the WTA is as follows. What prevents other players from running their own agencies if Coco Gauff can do it? When you can manage your own finances and hire your own staff, why rely on corporate management? Coco is building it for the future. And since this is more than simply tennis, it puts people like Sabalenka at risk. It has to do with power. Coco possesses it. Sabalenka desires it. But they are pursuing it in entirely different ways. Sabalenka swings hard on and off the court. She's feisty, emotional, and reactive. Coco is well prepared, patient, and calculated. One grows slowly, while the other burns quickly. And ultimately, that's what distinguishes fleeting celebrity from enduring legacy. Trophies are only one aspect of Coco's goal. Ownership, business, influence, and the kind of power that celebrities like Serena and LeBron developed into empires are on her mind. She doesn't want to wait for her profession to expire. While she's still winning, she's starting. And that's what makes this strategy so groundbreaking for women's tennis. Someone is actually questioning the conventional model for the first time in years. The foundation of Team 8 was safety and excellence, perfect press, safe decisions, and polished PR. Coco is the reverse, genuine, straightforward, and brave. She is creating her own brand without seeking approval. Sabalenka is free to continue making fun of it, but since Coco is playing chess while everyone else is still squabbling over checkers, she knows in her heart that it's a brilliant move. The best thing is that Coco is not even required to reply to the criticism. The answer is her success. She doesn't have to prevail in the dispute. The room is already hers. When Coco Gauff started her own management firm and took total control of her career, Aryna Sabalenka could not hide her envy. While Coco continues to expand her empire, Sabalenka appears insecure due to the sarcastic remarks and eye rolls. Click like and subscribe for more coverage of tennis power techniques.